breaking news, and it comes from Manchester United, who have reached an agreement in principle is in the final stages of negotiation and set to be signed by.
Yes, this is a very different kind of story. We have a statement reaching us from Manchester United as we wait to find out the conclusion of their internal investigation full. And in it they say this: following the dropping of all charges against Manchester United has conducted a thorough investigation into the allegations made against him. This is drawn on extensive evidence and context, not in the public domain, and we've heard from numerous people with direct involvement or knowledge of the case. Throughout this process, the welfare and perspective of the alleged victim has been central to the club's inquiries, and we respect anonymity. We also have responsibilities to Mason as an employee, as a young person who has been with the club since the age of 7, and as a new father with a partner. The fact-finding phase of our investigation is now complete, and we're in the final stages of making a decision on Mason's future. Contrary to media speculation, that decision has not yet been reached and is currently the subject of intensive internal deliberation. Responsibility ultimately rests with the Chief Executive Officer. And once made, the decision will be communicated and explained to the club's internal and external stakeholders. And they conclude this has been a difficult case for everyone associated with Manchester United, and we understand the strong opinions it has provoked based on the partial evidence in the public domain. We ask for patience as we work through the final stages of this carefully considered process. So that is the statement from Manchester United.
Well, look, the Qataris, we've been told, are going to bid for Manchester United today. The latest information we have in the last hour is that that bid has not been made yet. I was told to expect that bid to go in probably a little bit closer to this evening's deadline of 10 p.m. And the reason the deadline is 10 p.m. Is because we're going by US time. We're going by the time in New York. The bank who are handling the sale, Rain Group, are based in New York, and they've asked for anybody who's interested in buying Manchester United and wants to make this initial bid to email them by 5 p.m. New York time, 10 p.m. UK time this evening. And the email, the offer, it's quite simple. All it really has to be is one paragraph with how much your bid is, how much of Manchester United do you want? Do you want 100%, or do you just want a minority share? And also you need to prove that you have the funds to be able to proceed. And obviously, if the bid is coming from somebody linked to the Qatari royal family, funding is not going to be a problem at all.
It's interesting you say that, linked to the Qatari royal family. We know that there's this people holding PSG. So who's involved in this bid for United?
Well, look, what the Qataris have to be very careful about is the owners of PSG, as you mentioned, Qatari Sports Investments, can't also own Manchester United. So they have to come up with a different entity, a different investor. Obviously, a lot of cynics will say whatever they come up with, it is still going to be two clubs controlled and owned by the state of Qatar. We'll have to wait and see about that. But one name that has been mentioned, I think it was first mentioned by Bloomberg last night, which we haven't been able to confirm is involved in the Qatari bid, is somebody called Hamad Al Thani, who is a former Prime Minister of Qatar. He was also former executive at the Qatari Investment Authority. He has been mentioned as someone who may be fronting the bid that the Qataris are expected to make this evening.
Any news on any other bids?
Well, the state of play is that we're expecting Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, his company, to make a bid. They're the only bidders who've come out in public and said, yes, we're interested. We are, of course, expecting bids from US investors and also potentially from Saudi Arabia. One thing to look out for, though, I think there will be 3 or 4 serious bidders to buy 100% of Manchester United, but there will be more people who just want to buy a minority stake. So that is something that Rain Group and the Glazer family will have to sit down and talk about. Do they actually want to sell the whole club, or do they just want to sell a stake in the club?
And how quickly will the sale go through once these bids are in?
I think it could happen pretty quickly. It could happen before the end of the season. Maybe it could be done by April. It depends if this develops into a bidding war. It depends on what the Rain Group advise the Glazer family, what the Glazer family want to do. And it depends if it is somebody like the Qataris. I imagine somebody like the Qataris would have the funds in place to be able to go ahead with the deal pretty quickly. So it could be done before the end of the season.